Headshot.
Hello everybody and welcome to another asdnation tutorial. It's been a while since I did my last wire mod tutorial, so I figured I'd hop on. It's a little late, yeah. It's a little late, so I'm a little tired. I'm going to try to do my best here. What we're going to do today is timers. One of the things I'm going to teach you is how to make something happen at the end of a timer. And I'm also going to show you the opposite, which is maybe more of an increment, which is making the timer count up instead of count down, such as what I've got to show you here is a countdown timer to an explosion, which is a little bit easier, doesn't require quite as much E2 coding as a, say, missile that launches up into the air and 3 seconds later will turn around and come back at whoever you're wanting to track. So those are the two things I want to show you today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration here. This is a time bomb. Flip the switch here and kind of toss it at the wall. Alright, looked like it worked. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take a look at my timer, and as you can see, the timer is counting down. And as it counts down, it's registering to the chip how much time is left. So I'm going to go ahead and back up here. We've got about 5 seconds left. And there you go. Perfect for 4 wars. Just bust right through something. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Hold on just a second. Go ahead and show you guys basically what we're going to do today. Okay, so how we're going to do this is you're going to spawn something that you can wire explosively, or maybe if you want to do, a wired explosive, you can do the same thing. For me, I'm going to have a little fun with it. I'm going to have a atomic briefcase. That's right. I want a big boom. I'm going to go ahead and arm it because I know I don't want to wire it up. So I'm going to go ahead. Now with a timer you have key components that you always have to remember. With a timer you need the timer from time, of course. That's common sense. So you got the timer there. Okay? And then being as we're going to count down, we're going to use the subtract chip from the gate arithmetic. And then from there, we're going to get a constant value. I'm just going to throw this on there. I'll do this just for you guys here. One value of 10. I'm going to place him right here. And then from that, you're going to want something to kickstart the actual timer. So I'm going to toss that key down again, and what you're going to need is you're going to want it toggled so that it'll always stay on. And then how we're going to do this, you're going to wire A of the subtract to the value, B of the subtract to the timer here. Okay? Then we're going to wire run of the timer to the bomb. Okay, now there is a reset if you do ever want to make a reset button, which I'm going to go ahead and show you. Reset, okay. And you make the reset button, and you go ahead. I'm going to show you what that does. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to flick that switch. It's going to start counting. This is giving you the actual value, and then also when you hit reset, it's going to sit at 10 and it's going to stop counting. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what else we need to do here. You're going to wire detonate to the subtract chip. What that means is when that subtract chip hits that 0 value, it no longer carries a true value and it will explode, which is the fun part. So we're going to go ahead and click him here, and we're going to go ahead and run away and watch it go. Or actually, I'm going to fly away because, yeah. And that's the timer countdown version of timers. Really simple. I don't really have to go into much detail. I mean, it's something you can easily grasp in less than 5 minutes. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you, seeing as 90% of you that are watching this, I'm sure, have probably watched my my tutorial on the homing missile. What I'm going to do, forget it. I'm going to build it from scratch because it's simple to build. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Gmod because they do more damage. And I'm going to make a homing missile, but this homing missile is actually going to launch up into the air and then come down after a certain amount of time, which is good on jets and things like that. And I'll show you what mine does. I won't quite work the way that you guys think it will. Basically what happens is when you drop it off the plane, it'll drop for a half a second, launch forward at 1 second for about a second to 3/4 of a second, and then it will begin to track to its target. In other words, it's going to drop, launch forward, and then track one after the other. That way it looks realistic and it doesn't auto-track off your plane and end up, oh, I don't know, flying backwards and hitting you in the face, because nobody likes that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make our tracking missile. So you're going to need a beacon sensor, target finder, your 3 subtract chips, and then you need a GPS, and you will also need a numpad input. I like to do enter just because it seems legitimate to me to use enter. And then on the bottom we're going to do, sorry, I was running a little bit, we're going to do a thruster. It takes a little bit to load. And then on the thruster, I like to make it the biggest digit I can, just because if I want it to track somebody, I want this thing to fly. I want it to go quick. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to use the bucket. That's right, going old school. Oh, you fancy kids and them new thrusters. I remember back when we didn't have those thrusters. Okay. Horrible accent over. Okay, come on, we're equipping here. Okay, fine, be that way. Alright, and then something's not right there. Still not quite right, but I'll live with that. It's not that far off. Okay. Now what you want to do is we're going to make a expression chip. Okay, and I'm going to do this nice and slow, and I'm going to make it from scratch just so you guys can see this. Alright, so we're going to get rid of all this crap. Don't need it. Okay. Test, as usual. And we're going to go ahead and go down to these inputs here, and we're going to say, well, let's say A. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go with A. And what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and put time down. And then we're going to do launch as L. Track. And I think that's all we need. Yep. And we're going to put worry about run. We'll just have it go straight to it, make it easier. We're going to make the interval on this 10 milliseconds, so we're going to put 10 here. And then right here we're going to say if A is equal to 1, then, now here's where it goes into the complexity. So you're going to be going up in your scale, so you're going to be going from 0 up to whatever. It's going to just keep on counting. It's not going to stop. So basically we want it to, let's say, launch. And you know what, just to show you how it works with my plane, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm also going to throw a weld latch on there. And what I'm going to have it do is if time is greater than or equal to, and the reason I'm using greater than or equal to, if you put equal to, once it raises above that number, whatever you just told it to do is going to end. It's going to stop. If you say greater than and then less than, you can make it so that it pushes itself up into the air, floats down for a second, and then turns itself back on. Whatever you want to do, you can mess with this in any way you wish to. Okay, what I mean by that is if, say, you wanted it to go from 1 to 3 seconds, you want it to fly forward, and then you want it to break something off and drop some bombs and then keep on, you know, whatever floats your boat, go for it. If you're going to do wiring, you got to be creative. You got to find new things to do all the time, and I'll show you something I used this on a little bit later in the video. So what we're going to do here is if time is greater than or equal to 1, so it's gone 1 second, we're going to tell it, oop, that's not what I want you to do, sorry. Alright, we're going to tell it to launch. Now, as you can tell, actually what I'm going to put up here is I'm going to put W is equal to 1. And why I'm doing that is that's going to make this thing welded down. Okay? Yeah, I'm just going to leave that. What that's going to do is it's going to make this welded. Okay? And it's going to sit in one spot. And the cool thing about that is you'll get this effect of it trying to take off, and then all of a sudden it just unwelds and it launches, and it looks cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to finish out this code here, and then we're going to tell it if time is greater than or equal to, say, 3. So we're going to have it go like that for about 2 seconds. Then I'm going to go ahead and have it unweld itself. And then if time is greater than or equal to 5, so 2 more seconds, then track is equal to 1. Okay. And then we're going to do end it, and else. And we're not going to need anything there. Okay, so now another thing you can do, and I'm going to toss it on here just for a good measure because we made even numbers. You should always do this so you don't make the chip think too hard, because sometimes it gets a little hectic if you do it that way. You're going to make a round chip from your arithmetic and wire A to your subtract chip, because your subtract has the value. So we're going to go ahead and do it that way. Another thing I missed that I just realized is the constant value, and you're going to want it at 0, and the reason for that is you're counting up. You want it to go up, okay? And this is the timer section, so I actually didn't forget anything. So you need a constant value of 0, a round. You also need your add, and we're using add this time because you're actually adding a value. You're not subtracting, you're adding the value. Personally, because it makes more sense to me. If you want it to count down, you want it to be a countdown missile, by all means, go for it. I've got one. It looks good doing it either way. So, it's just your personal preference. So we're going to go ahead and add A to the value, B to the... Oop, I haven't made one yet. So I did forget something. Timer. Make that. I knew I was missing a chip. So we're gonna put the B of the add to the timer, A of the round to the add chip, because that's what's got the value. So forget what I said over there. It's the round to the add chip. Okay. And we're gonna do run to the numpad, and then A to the numpad, and time to the round chip. Now, if you guys have watched my other tutorials, in which you should, and if you haven't, shame on you, I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of speed do this here because I've done this way too many times. Oh, do not, yeah, don't target me. Okay, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire it up just like a normal tracking missile here. Target to the target finder, and then A to the GPS X, A to GPS Y, A to GPS Z. If you miss anything, go back. Oop, 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 what did I just miss? I just did something, didn't I? GPS Z. Okay. Alright. And then B to world X, B to world Y, B to world Z. And then I think that's it. Oh no. Where's the I need a vector thruster. Perfect. Okay. Oh wait, way too big. Okay. Okay, for some reason I couldn't see it, but it was there. Alright, and then you're going to wire mul to the expression chip track. X to X, Y to Y, Z to Z, and then you're going to have A to the launch. And then I'm going to make a weld latch just to show you guys what it looks like here. Weld latch constraint under wired physics. Make the controller. And then I'm going to wire activate to the W. Okay, now what's going to happen, I'm going to hit this key, and I'm going to show you guys what this does. So we're going to spawn, say, a couple of mean NPCs. And I'm going to let them shoot at me for a second so they don't hit the missile, just in case something goes wrong. I'm going to hit the button. As you can see, it's welded. Goes off and then comes on back. Boom. There you go. Now you can make it a little bit slower. You want them to check out, you know, the way it looks, you know, stuff like that. You can. I'm going to show you something I've got here. Go ahead and spawn this for you guys. Here's something that I have made. This will be in a tutorial coming up here soon. Actual tracking screens. These will display player names that you are currently tracking. Each missile can track to a specific player. The time counts down. As the time counts down, these will actually simultaneously start to go up. And I'm going to show you that really quick. The rope is there actually because I can't advance dupe without some type of constraint. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to hit the key here. And I'm going to hit the green button, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it does. It's kind of going to flip out a little bit because there's nobody in the server. Okay, there you go. There's one. Next one should be coming on. 2. You can hear the little siren in the background. There's 3. When we get down to about 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3. Starts tracking, starts tracking, starts tracking. And because there's no player in the server, they're going to kind of do that. So I can't really show you specifically what it does. But they're very quick and they work really well. Another thing I did with it is I got real bored and I made something called an MRLS, and it's called a mobile rocket launcher system, and it's from a very classic game called Command & Conquer Renegade, and a lot of people probably don't remember that. It's an old game, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Oh, shit. As you can tell, the rockets went off there. Basically what I did here is you've got your sounds for when you get in, you've got your tracking screen, you've got some hydraulics to lift up this back end because of course you don't want to shoot in the back. So it lifts up just like an MRLS from Command & Conquer. And what I'm going to show you guys here is actually it going up here. So in just a second. I'm trying to get it to... Okay. It kind of glitched out a little bit there. Sorry about that. And then you can hop in. As you can see, it's raising up. And this is a little bit faster than the MRL from Command & Conquer, but it's still pretty cool. And then when you lock onto the person you want to lock onto, slow down a little bit. Yeah, fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because it had nobody to track, it kind of flew at the ground. But as you can see, there's, and I'm not doing this just to, you know, to brag or anything like that. It's to show you guys there are so many different things, and I tell you this in every single video. I think there are so many things you can do with the stuff I teach you. These aren't just basics. These are little nitpick things that you can add to everything to make it a little bit better. I don't think I have any more I can show you right now except for this guy. This one here is actually a jet, and it's brilliant because it actually uses G-bombs. And what G-bombs are is an actual explosion that will take apart a plane. And when you take apart a plane, they can't really fly anymore. So, in hindsight, if you're flying and you're doing a dogfight with one of your buddies, and he's up in the air with me, not only do I have these two guns on the front, I have these missiles here on the side. And I'll kind of show you guys what it does here if I can get it up in the air without them exploding. So I have it set up so that if you land roughly, it's going to explode. That way you have to land the right way. And you have wheels, so you can't mess up that bad. Okay, I think I've got him in the air. Alright. So I'm going to drop one. And of course, no players in here. But you drop it, and it drops for about a half a second, launches off, and then tracks to the player that you have targeted. And it's really cool because when you go through and you learn things from these videos, I like to see how many people actually come on to this, the Gmod server we're hosting here, which is asdnation. I'm going to go ahead and actually pop up the IP for you guys so that you guys can check this out. I am teaching you guys this because there is a lot of stuff you can do with this, and I'd love to see you guys come in here and make stuff from what I've taught you. It is the coolest thing in the world to see that stuff, and it makes me very, very happy. So come on by, show me what you learned, show me your creations, teach me something I love to learn. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.